You are looking at someone who, not long ago, had $47,000 in debt and a paycheck that most people would not even call a paycheck. No side hustle, no rich family, no lucky break. Just a number that felt impossible, and a decision that changed everything. Stay with me, because this story gets uncomfortable before it gets good. After taxes, after rent, after the basic cost of just being alive, there was almost nothing left. It started small. A credit card here, a medical bill there, a car repair I could not afford to pay up front. One emergency became two. Two became five. And before I understood what was happening, the number had climbed to $47,000. Every morning I woke up and it was there, sitting on my chest before I even opened my eyes. Should I go out to eat with friends? No. Should I fix the leak in my ceiling? Maybe later. Can I afford to get sick? Absolutely not. Debt, at a certain level, stops being about money. It becomes a story you tell yourself about who you are. I sat on the floor of my apartment with every bill spread out in front of me. I had been avoiding opening them for weeks, maybe months. I added it all up. Every single dollar I owed. To every single person or institution I owed it to. $47,212. Instead of spiraling into panic the way I usually did, I felt something else. A kind of cold, quiet clarity. You cannot fight something you refuse to face. That shift, from fear to information, was the first and most important thing I did. And it cost me nothing. I listed every debt, the total balance, the minimum payment, and the interest rate. I stared at that list until it stopped scaring me. I went through 3 months of bank statements and highlighted every single charge. I found over $200 a month in charges I could not account for. $200. That became my first debt weapon. I used the snowball method. Not because it is mathematically superior, but because I needed to feel like I was winning. The moment I paid off that first small balance, something lit up in me that no spreadsheet could have predicted. I sold things I owned but did not need. Furniture, clothes, electronics, things collecting dust while I drowned in interest payments. I told my close friends that I was in a hard season and could not spend money socially the way I used to. Most of them understood. A few did not. Protecting the feelings of people who could not support my survival was a luxury I could not afford. The moment money hit my account, a portion of it left. Automatically. I did not give myself the chance to spend it. The difference between people who get out of debt and people who do not is the willingness to do the boring, uncomfortable thing consistently. Paying off debt while earning very little is not just a money problem. It is an identity problem. The culture around us is constantly telling you that spending is how you participate in life, that buying things is how you belong. When you decide to stop, you do not just feel financially restricted. You feel socially invisible. I started cooking instead of ordering in. I started walking instead of driving. I started reading books I borrowed instead of bought. When you strip away everything that is not essential, you discover what actually matters to you. It took me 2 years and 4 months to pay off all $47,000. The first 6 months felt painfully slow. There were moments where I genuinely asked myself if it was worth it. Around month 8, something changed. The snowball had started to roll. The math began to work in my favor instead of against me. By the end, I was throwing nearly all of my available income at the last debt. The month I made that final payment, I remember sitting in my car in a parking lot. I felt something I had not felt in years. I felt free. The debt will not shrink from avoidance. It grows there, in the dark, while you look away. You do not need more income to start. You need a decision. Write down your number, all of it, every dollar you owe, and sit with it until it stops controlling you. You already have that courage. You are here. That is enough to begin